Another dream I had, I wound up playing in some sort of softball game, and I was in the outfield. Where in the outfield they had really tall, clumpy grass, and there was little potholes, those little low spots in the grass. And as I played, I kept finding all these extra balls in the tall grass or in the potholes, and they were just all over the place. And I was wondering if that had any special meaning that you can think of.
Ask Sandy what she does at night with all those balls.
Yeah, Sandy?
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Well, I thought that was interesting. Well, I had another really.
What was the landscape in that?
It was just an open baseball field, but out in the outfield they had really tall grass, clumpy grass. It was like 2 feet high.
Clumpy grass.
Yeah, clumpy grass.
Okay.
And all these 12-inch softballs were, I'd find them. Somebody hit a fly to the outfield, I'd go get the ball and throw it in, and then as I was walking back to I'd look down and there'd be extra balls laying on the ground out there. I have no idea what that means.
Well, to play the game, you need the ball, right?
Right.
The game you're playing is not the only game in town. So, in a way, you're finding new softballs to create new games because you need the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're finding things in the outfield, you see, which is outside, basically, like the 4 bases, the 4 is like a cube. Remember when we were young, we used to call our parents squares? That's the base. Yeah, remember that? Remember those days? Our parents are squares. Yeah, because 4 sides.
Oh, yeah.
So you got the 4 bases, and so that's the game right there. That's all the attention, right? The crowd. That's really it. They don't pay too much attention to the outfield, the crowd. They watch the infield play, the pitcher, the batter, etc. If they hit a home run, wow, that's into the crowd. But you're out there, you're finding balls to create new games, but it's up to you what you do with them, you see? So again, it's giving you the hint, you see? So it's just like what we're doing here today and the radio show and that. See, you're creating a new game, and it's up to you how you do it, but it's all there. This is because you're aware now. You see these things where everybody else doesn't. It's all over the place. You just got to see it, and you are.
The next dream I had was really interesting. I was on a construction site, and on this construction site, we were putting up these really heavy-duty windows, and they were probably over 10 feet square, and they were very thick windows, and they had very heavy-duty railings that went in to hold the windows in place. And my job was, I was new on the job, and the boss asked me if I knew how the interlocking window rails went together to put the windows in, and I said to the boss, it can't be too hard. And I looked at him, and you'd put it in, you'd slide it over, and it would lock the windows in place. And then I woke up from that dream. But I have an idea that I'm improving my view of everything is what that dream means to me.
Well, it's along those lines, and one of the boys, Rebs or whatever, asked you the question again. See, he's looking for your answer and agreement, and you're going, well, gee, it can't be that hard, or no, I don't know what to do, or whatever. So a lot of people say, hey, I don't know what to do, etc. They'll just stand there but you're moving forward, you're agreeing, they're giving you the opportunity. Also, you're constructing something, so, it's buildings with bigger windows, because again, most buildings don't have big windows like that except for storefronts. But that's the type we're constructing something here so that others have a better view also, and it's like a real strong safety glass also. So there's many things implied, but again, you're always prompted to decide to move forward or not. You see, and you said okay.
Yeah, I said let's go for it. It can't be too hard, so I proceeded to go ahead and do it, figure it out. Well, that was neat. I had another really interesting dream, and this was actually on Monday morning, a couple days ago. And I dreamed that when any references were made to the real guides, the background ambience of wherever I was began to became much brighter. And anytime a name was written down regarding the real guides, it was highlighted and written down very bold. So it was all of a sudden the room would get real bright, and any names were highlighted in bold, anything that was written down. And on the other hand, this was, I thought was funny. On the other hand, any reference to the corporation, anytime somebody brought up the corporation, the ambient lighting was dimmed way down, and any names that were written associated with the corporation were written down in reverse. So any comments about that dream?
Well, again, what we're presenting are references to the real light, the all is, and there's many ways to look at that, and also that these other things, we use the corporation because many of us have been in it as a reference of what not to do. So again, these things that apply to the corporation, they actually block the real light. You see, the isness is everywhere, and it's just our ideas of our experience here that we don't see what it is. So little by little it's unfolded. So that's kind of showing you you might say the black and white of things, etc. So there's a reference there, and you can take it from there. So again, yes, and it just depends upon the individual's intent also. So we use everything as a reference, but what we're doing here is everything that we're doing references the waking up and recognizing the is. And so you see that the references to the corporation, they don't work. It doesn't work at all. So again, there's another validation. You'll continually get these and how you share it or whatever, but by the very fact that you're experiencing it. The other members that are on the real side there too, they're watching this also. There is a demonstration going on with many people, just not yourself. Could be millions, etc. They're seeing it too, but they make a decision. They make a decision to wake up and do something or not. Things are constantly being demonstrated, and so you're not the only one seeing it.
I had another interesting dream yesterday morning, and I found myself on this train. It was really a heavy-duty train. It had it was a bigger train than a normal train, and it had a big locomotive, and all the passenger cars were real big. And I was on this train, and the train was called the Great Light Train. And then I woke up from that dream. So what would the Great Light Train, what would that be?
The Great White Twain?
the Great Light. It was Great Light, like as in the sun shining light, and then train.
Great White Twain, yes.
Wait.
Yeah, the twain.
Yeah.
The twain.
Great White Twain. Great White Twain. Okay. What is that a hint to? Okay, help him out, Sandy.
Well, Okay, white, light. You said
Great light.
light train.
A train
Yet
of
the
light.
train itself was heavy.
Yeah, a heavy duty train, and it was light, moving forward.
Okay, you just said part of it. Yeah, moving forward. And it's stable because it's heavy. It's not likely to swerve or fall off the tracks. So you're on the tracks. And it's I would think it was the being
What Elmer Fudd would say, the great whiter twain.
Go ahead, Robert. It looked like he was going to say something, so
Was it? Oh, he was?
I have an idea. I mean, for myself, what it means. I mean,
that's all, folks.
that
Tofu.
there's, it's like the white light, and then moving along in the white light and moving forward, and it's in the light instead of in darkness, and moving forward, and things are just wonderful. But I thought maybe there was one particular specific application of that you might want to comment on.
Well, as I'm sitting over here, like I said, it's the great
Writer Duane.
whiter train.
The great whiter train.
The great writer Duane.
Oh, I gotcha. The great writer Duane. You got it, Robert?
Oh, so it's not a train at all. It's a writer, huh?
Well,
It isn't,
yeah.
Bob. It is what it is, but it's where does everything come from that we're doing here? Okay. How did the train be decided and got going? See, this is the train, isn't it? Yes. What's the source here?
The all is.
Well, yes, the all is okay. So we're not going to use the God idea here. The thing is that something has to be decided, and what you're seeing is an idea that's been decided. There's the difference. You see, we're in creation here. That's what the train represents. You see.
Okay. It's the
Sandy knows. Claudia, she can see it.
well, I guess I guess what you're saying almost goes without saying, because that's so obvious that it's the whole program, the new presentation moving forward.
Yeah.
Providing the light for everybody, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's there. It is. So. Yeah,
there it is.
That's the idea. So so it's and how you see it, how you're experiencing it, and it is. So again, these are confirmations of the ideas that we've created here. Yeah, the ideas that have become, materialized, you might say. And so the train represents that moving forward. Yes, because it's on a straight track. Yeah, it's on track. You see, trains are on track. It's like that saying. It's like the old saying. It's like, well, you're on track.
You're on track.
Yeah. See? Again, try and remember those little old sayings.
Yes. Well, I had one dream this morning, and it was the last dream I'll talk about. Is I dreamed I was in a prison, and I was going to be freed in 2 days, totally freed from my prison. Any idea what that might be?
Has it been 2 days yet?
No, it was just this morning.
Okay, well, you got to wait.
I have to wait until Friday.
Exactly.
So,
Sandy, your favorite meal when you get out.
Yeah.
okay, well, that's all my dreams for this week.
Well, one of the things I had forgotten to say before that I remembered is after having the vision of the earth being, had that huge heavy chain around it, was like a vice grip on the earth. And like Duane said, it just shows the consciousness. I sang the new you to the earth. And as I'm singing to it, it moves a little and it responds with music back. So that's one of the things I wanted to say. It was a beautiful experience. If we sing like New You to our pets, the birds, the earth, as Claudia says, to the trees, to the plants, to the flowers, everything in the all-natural environment that exists, we can sing the new you to it. And they respond, they hear it. I could tell that the earth heard it because it moved a little and it responded with music back to me. And one of the neat little things that I saw the other day, I had gone to the grocery store quickly, and on my way out, this is like a shopping plaza. It has the grocery store, it has a bridal salon, it has a dress barn where you can buy dresses, it has the movie theaters. Used to have a vitamin shop, but they closed up. But that kind of encompasses what is there in this strip mall. Oh, and they opened a new beauty salon. And on their logo above the entrance, in big letters, it said New You. And it was N-U, and then another word, Y-U. And I thought that was pretty cool. So to have it out there.
And don't forget to sing to the flies.
To the flies? Did you say flies?
Yeah, flies.
Oh, all right.
Kelsey,
Sure.
did you have that picture Ava and I did? You didn't see all these things yet, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you got to pay attention. They're all in any topic.
Okay.
You got to go there once in a while and see what's going on.
Yes.
That's the main buzz.
No pun intended. Okay. Sing to them. Yeah, they're not my favorite on planet Earth, but we will sing to them when I see them again in the spring or the summer.
There was an old fairy tale called, what was it, Seven with One Blow. I think it was one of Aesop's fables. And it was a fable about this guy that became world renowned because he wiped out seven with one blow, and it was really flies. When the word got out, he just killed 7 flies with one swat. Then his fame kind of went downhill. That was what the story was about.
Well, you catch them with your hands.
Yeah.
So, yes, I must catch up.
You like catching flies, Duane?
No, I usually run the other way.
Yeah.
They're scary. Yeah. They're scary.
They scare you.
Actually, we don't have that many. Once in a while, I get little gnats that fly around. You always got a little gnat here and there. Very small. Kind of shoo them off. But the flies, we don't see many. Once in a while. Don't see them like the old days because there's so much poison around.
Oh, it's killing the flies too. Thanks, Kelsey, for bringing that up.
Ask Ava in Germany. The birds are almost starving because there's hardly any bugs. They've even reported that the bug population has went down because of all the pesticides and everything. Just like the bees and everything, they're affected too. And there's some around, but not like they used to be. And that's what the birds feed off of. And so people have to almost feed the birds now. Yeah, Ava's very aware of this in Germany. Yeah, and that's all over. Yeah, they spray pesticides here everywhere in the gutters, everywhere they can. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
everything. Oh yeah, yeah. Everything's
Yeah.
poison. So when the bugs try to, these individuals, so all they have is what the dogs leave or whatever to cling to, etc. And yeah, well, there's plenty of dogs, so they're around, but I really never see them, hardly ever anymore. And we leave the door open without a screen, and very, very seldom. Yeah.
Wow. We had quite a few this summer, I must say. Um, you never know what they've landed on before they come into your house, land on your counter. But I saw some article the other day that had there's a white pine tree that produces pine cones with the pine nuts that the bears eat. Well, they have an invading beetle that is invading the tree, and it's killing the trees, and it's kind of some kind of a burrowing beetle, and the pine trees are not producing the cones that produce the seeds that feed the bears. So that's being affected, and I'm sure the nature and the balance has swung uh, towards the beetles, where maybe naturally without the chemtrails and everything, it would have been not such a bad invasion. Maybe what the beetles normally feed on, they didn't have that source anymore, so it throws everything out of balance.
Yeah, Sandy. Yes. Oh, gee, and around 2000, I was there is Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead up here that's huge, and it's forests, pine trees, etc. And it's because they're higher elevation, they get all the chemtrails and everything, and it's in the soil. And so what the beetles are doing is because the immune system of the trees is down, the beetles attack and they destroy the trees. They suck the tree dry. That's why the beetles are there, because the immune system is down. Yeah, they were hacking left and right up here, and you can see big bumps all over the trees, all over the pine trees here. And because the mountainous areas here, we don't have like mountains, but they're like miniature mountains, but they're pretty high, where the ski resorts are, especially Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead. And I've been up there many times and saw them, and in town and everything, they're cutting down the trees and everything because they're rotting. The beetles have just taken over because people don't realize, and it's just not from the chemtrails, it's from all the poisons. The trees are living in the city. They're inside concrete, and there's asphalt there. They're breathing the trees, and they're breathing all the fumes and just everything that's going on. And they're suffocating, and their immune systems go down. So, again, it's like being in a bad place. The earth is a bad place, and they're suffering too. So the beetles come in and they suck them dry, and then the trees just rot. Yeah, that's why their immune systems are ruined.
Yeah. I saw where the tree tried to block its the burrow entrance spot, but the tree isn't able to keep up. It looks kind of like a rust-colored stuff where something invades the tree can fight back with its immune system, which looks like that rust substance that it puts out, but the invasion is so terrific. Like Duane said, that a tree can't keep up and its immune system's down. It's a bad thing.
Well, you have to imagine that, with the rain and the chemtrails and all the stuff, and the cars and everything that's going in, landing on the earth, and the water washes it down. Well, just like GMO food that people eat here, the trees and the roots are eating this stuff, and it's going through their system, and pretty soon their system's ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very real. Everything's toxic. Yeah.
We had 2 days of beautiful, bright sunshine, and then yesterday they were out in force with the chemtrails, and they literally obliterated the sky with chemtrails and made it a dark overcast.
Which we still have today.
Well, which we have, yeah. It continues, but it was really nice, those 2 days of sunshine, and now
It was quite a treat.
chemtrails were just everywhere yesterday. Everywhere.
You saw that article about oh geez, I forget. Doesn't matter who it is, if it's Gates or doesn't matter who it is. That they're and they've been doing it anyhow with chemtrails, but now they've got more toxic stuff about the idea is to you know, this is the marketing propaganda, is to block the sun so that, you know, the planet doesn't heat up. Yeah, so again, it's just an excuse to put more chemicals out there. I read it on Waking Times or something, or I saw it on Facebook yesterday. I forget. And you know, of course, a lot of people are saying this is nuts, but of course they're going to go through with it. They want to experiment to see what happens. So it's just another program to throw more poisons out there to supposedly block the sun, because this all of a sudden now the sun is not a good thing. There was a few movies years ago called Highlander, and there was actually three Highlanders made. And the second one, they actually did that. They put like a shield around the Earth to block the sun. Yeah, so yeah, this is what they want to do. In other words, they want to contain everybody, and at the same time, this is their thrill to watch everybody suffer. That's part of it. That's part of their sensational thrill, their physical astral shapeshifters. So, yes, and we're in the middle of it here trying to do something.
Yes.
You know, one thing that really puzzles me is you know, it's very interesting how the natural ecology works. And I heard a speaker give about an hour and a half talk about how the natural ecology system works, and it works something like this. You have large animals that get sick or whatever in the oceans, and so you have all these sharks, great white sharks, whatever, will go after the sick animals like the manatees or whatever it is, and they will scarf them up and eat them. And on the land, you have all these deer and, you know, wild animals, elk and whatever, and if they get sick, you have all the wolves and coyotes that will come in and eat them. And then in Africa, you got the lions that goes after them. And anyway,
Buzzards.
and whatever. And then you have all the large animals that do the major damage to take care of the sick animals, because that's basically all they go after. They go after the sick or weak ones. And then after the big animals get done chewing on the carcass, then you have the birds come in and they chip away at what's left, and they chip away at the bone and everything. And when the birds are done, then you have the bacteria come in, and
You have the hyenas who eat the bones.
or well, you may have, yeah, depending on what part of the world you're in, may have something that eats the bones. But in a lot of areas where the flesh is just laying there, then you have eventually it gets down to the microbes, and then eventually those carcasses are eventually turned to dust. And it's a very intricate ecology system. And the same can be said about the food chain. The food chain is very similar in reverse. You have all the single cell organisms that are eaten by the larger organisms that are eaten, you know, provide the food all the way up the food chain, and then you have, you know, all the grasses that the cows eat, and, you know, under the normal system. And what's really interesting, you have all these brilliant scientists out there destroying the ecology, and they can't connect the dots that if the ecology goes, so does human life on this planet. Unless you're going to import food from somewhere else in the universe, you know, I don't think they've perfected, you know, those Star Trek machines where you push a button and out pops a steak dinner or something, or mashed potatoes. I don't think they've developed that yet. You know, maybe they have, but they can't seem to connect the dots when they destroy this. It's done. It's over with. And right now, I mean, we're like, I think I mentioned the other day, it's just, I think it's almost beyond saving. It would take a major humanitarian effort to even save the planet right now, if it's even possible. So, anyway, I just thought that was interesting how everything ties together, but most people can't see that.
No, that was excellent, Bob. I just want to say something. Thank you so much. Yes, that was excellent. So again, you've got ideas out there, and these people are paid just too well to continually do all this nonsense. So to them, it's kind of official what they're doing, because they're just paid so well. They're highly paid professionals, PhDs, whatever. They went through the system to be indoctrinated, and then they get the big pay. And so, again, it's all about control. And no, you can't keep up with it. We don't even know how many agencies there are poisoning and everything. And again, it's the consciousness too. So, yeah, there's no saving something that's already destroyed. Basically, you're looking at a destroyed world, and it's not being negative. It's about, yes, people would like it to stay nice, but then again, this is a testing ground. But it's not going to be nice because people just want it to be so. It has to be an actuality, and it's not happening. That's all. Nobody's going to stop driving their cars, as an example. When everybody stops driving their cars, whoa, that's a start. I mean everybody. And flying planes and boats and whatever. That's everybody. But until then, it ain't happening because people won't do that. See? So, yeah, it's where it is, and it's already been decided by everybody. They're agreeing that it's okay that it goes, but these people are the so-called professionals. I don't question them at all. They're highly paid. They don't care. All they care about is their next paycheck, and they'll just figure, well, I'll retire one day and I'll be out of the system and someone else can take care of it. Well, that's the attitude, isn't it? So, yes, we're trying to show the world something real, but they got to pay attention.